Alright guys, so in today's recap, I'm going to show you the importance of entry 1 and 2 zone, why you need to preserve capital for entry 2 zones, and then I'm going to show you why it's super important to follow the algo's rules and play with 1 DTE. So let's hop and show you in the Discord what the trade in Tuesday, December 30th and Wednesday, December 31st look like, and why those two things are super key to have a winning trade. So let's hop in. All right, so looking over here, this is how the signal looks like. You get two entry zones. That first arrow going down from the yellow lines is entry 1, and that second arrow that gets pulled back into the purple blue lines and drops back down is entry 2. Why do we have entry 2? Why do we have two entries? Well, sometimes we go straight to the target, which is where entry 1 comes to play, and sometimes we get a pullback before it goes to the target. So there's always going to be two scenarios and two possibilities, but 90% of the time the targets will hit, so that's the good part. So we're popping up into entry 2 zone, and I told members as long as the blue dash holds its down, we should get back on track and erase that data candle. So entry 2 zone is where we are inside of now, and there's a 3M box. Once that box flips and breaks, that will be confirmation to go to the target. Now I do want to also mention that there is a green dash right above the target. We do something called levels of interest every single pre-market before the algo, and these are predetermined targets that can be used alongside with the algo's targets. So sometimes if you have the two near each other, you can just use either one as your take profit. So if the green dash gets hit, that's your target hit, and then if the algo target hits as well, there you go, that's a full target hit. So now we are starting to go down. Momentum's picking up. And boom, we hit the levels of interest targets. But the levels of interest targets can also act as support. So I did mention that it's important to trim here because if you don't, it might bounce back up. And literally that's exactly what happened. That was the bottom of the morning, going right back up into the entry 2 zone. So this is your next round. I'll be waiting for the 3M box flip first. This could be a double top with those wicks. Again, the box flipped. We are breaking down. We are heading down. And now we popped right back up. But this time the 3M orange box is acting as resistance, as it should. But the problem is this is a very, very, very choppy day. And all we've been doing is ping-ponging inside of a range. And that's where the 1DT comes to play and is effective. Because there is going to be times like this where it's not a trend day, it's not smooth sailing, it's not going one direction all day long. It's going to be a choppy price action, as you can see here. And you got to look at the algo as a tool, okay? Just like how Cheddar Flow has, let's say, I don't know, put walls and call walls. We'll just make up a number, 690. So 690 is your call walls. Okay, so 690 is your target. It should reach up to the 690. Then you have unusual whales where you can track flows, and maybe you'll find some unusual contracts all sitting at 690. So that's another way of, predetermining that it could be a target. Or you might have a JEX, an indicator using the JEX, and there's high positive JEX at 690 or however you use it, which can indicate as a target as well. All these tools that are implying 690 is how you kind of decide where to trim. With the algo, it's the same thing. The algo is saying where its target will be, but it has a filter of 1 day expiry. So the algo usually hits same day, but worst case scenario, the calculations that is determined for that target to hit can still happen within 1 DTE, 1 day till expiry. So if you look here, it's chopping. It's already 313. The end of the day is approaching. What do you do next? Well, you have to just keep adding to your position and take a swing to trade into the next day for that target hit, because that's what it's going to do. It's going to hit within 1 DTE. 4 p.m. We are close to the target. The momentum is there. Every time it popped, it's sold back down. It's got pretty vicious downside moves, but it's just not breaking out of the range. But the algo is telling me that the target is down there and it's got to hit. So let's see what this 1 DTE can do. Boom. Open bell. We get the sell off. We hit the target. We hit the extended target. And we are now dropping to extended target 2. At this point, I wasn't looking at SPY anymore. I jumped to SPX watching that. But this actually went to extended target 3. It was just dropping all day long for the last day of the year. And I guess the algo calculated this target hit to come, but the price action itself, that the market was driven by, was just not letting it happen yesterday, or sorry, this would be 2 days ago when it was chopping. But sometimes these kind of plays are meant to be, because we noticed that there was a daily candle pattern happening. Red inside bar squeezed down, plus the triple tri-star. So all these choppy days just really was a recipe for disaster and brewing for something big, which, as you can see, we hit extended target 2, but it went more than that. So I hope this helps you kind of understand more about entry 1 and entry 2 zones and why you need to trade 1 DTE always. And I'll see you guys in the next recap.